Who doesn't like a good hot tamale? That was my favorite candy as a child, believe it or not. Also, it's a nickname I gave myself when I was homeschooled in high school because I had no friends to give me a nickname. All right, and just like the hot tamale candies, today is going to be spicy. So let's get the milk and let's dive in. Okay, everybody, if you are still watching, I appreciate that. My name is Tim Gibson and I am a real estate agent in North Georgia. My channel is all about hot tamales. No, I'm just kidding. It's all about real estate. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are curious about the area or if you're considering moving to the area, please reach out. My contact info is right on the screen. All right, so I've done a few of these videos on the reasons why you shouldn't move to North Georgia. And we're going to get into a few. Last time we talked about gun ownership, politics, we've covered rural life, food, weather, allergies, all that good stuff. But today we're going to go into a little bit different topics for you so you can figure out if this is a place for you to move. All right, so first we're going to cover housing in North Georgia. A lot of you come from Florida and other places that are typically more flat, and traditionally people probably think of Georgia as a flat state. But since North Georgia is in the Appalachian Mountains, the topography is a little bit challenging at times. So since there's not a lot of flat property in North Georgia, you're not going to find a lot of homes on a slab. Most of the houses are going to be built on a basement or a crawl space. And a lot of houses are built up instead of out, because if you've got a really challenging topography, then it makes a lot more sense to build the house a little bit tighter as far as the footprint goes, and then you build up. So that's why if you're browsing around on Realtor.com or Zillow or one of the public-facing sites, you see mostly two-story homes and a lot of homes with basements. So just know that if you are searching in North Georgia, the chances of finding a 2,500 square foot ranch on a 1 acre lot with a flat yard and a fenced-in backyard is not as common as it would be in a place like Florida. So the more specific you get on the exact type of house or the exact square footage, or maybe if you want everything on one level, just know that it might be a little bit difficult to find, mostly because since all of these are very small towns, there's a very limited number of homes for sale total. All right, so just to give you an example, a place like Dahlonega, Georgia, which is a small town, very popular place for people to look for homes. Across the board, there's only 110 houses for sale. And that would range all the way from the low end where you're looking at maybe $150,000 single wide, all the way up to your $6 million mountain estates. So, most of you, if you're coming from a very heavily populated area, like somewhere like the Tampa area or Sarasota area of Florida, you could probably throw a rock in the air and find the exact type of house you're looking for. Say it's a 2,000 square foot ranch, on a 1/4 acre lot. But in these smaller towns, like Dahlonega, for example, where there's only 110 houses for sale, the likelihood of finding exactly what you want in the exact area that you want might be a little bit more challenging if your criteria is very specific. All right, so Blue Ridge is another one that is very popular, and I get a lot of calls about Blue Ridge. There's actually quite a few more houses for sale in Blue Ridge. There's 280 houses for sale. One thing to keep in mind about the difference between Blue Ridge and Dahlonega is that the median sales price is drastically different. In Blue Ridge, it's about $799,000 for the median sales price. And Dahlonega is right around $382,000. So even though there's a lot more houses for sale in Blue Ridge, the houses are vastly more expensive. Just know that if you are looking for a house in North Georgia, the more specific your criteria gets, the harder it may be to find the exact house that you want in a very small defined area. Okay, so if your favorite hobby is sitting inside enjoying the air conditioning, you can do that, and you can really do that anywhere, but the main draw of living in North Georgia is spending time outside. One of the main reasons why people choose to live in North Georgia, and I've covered this in some other videos, is that it's a rural place. You don't have a lot of facilities around, a lot of amenities. It's tucked away in the mountains, and you have a lot of natural beauty. So the people who end up in North Georgia and living in North Georgia like to spend time outside. Your main activities are hiking, fishing, trout fishing. There's a bunch of lakes, there's a lot of rivers. Lots of things to do outside, but if that's not your thing, then maybe North Georgia might not be the spot for you. But hey, if you want to live in a rural place and just hang out inside in the air conditioning, obviously you can do that too. So third on the list, if you're not a big fan of tourists, then maybe North Georgia is not the best place for you, and I'll explain. A lot of the small towns in North Georgia are tourist attractions for various reasons. Lots of different reasons to visit the towns in North Georgia. There's a bunch of wineries, there are lots of festivals going on all year round. There's all kinds of stuff to do. And just a short distance away to the south, Metro Atlanta has a population of somewhere around 5 million people. So on the weekends, naturally when the weather's nice, in the spring and fall especially, a lot of the people from Metro Atlanta spend time in the mountains. During the fall, for example, whenever the leaves are changing and the weather starts to cool off, a lot of people spend time in the mountains. All right, so after living here for, 20 years or so, we just kind of stay away from the town squares during the weekends unless we just want to get out and about and be around a bunch of tourists. All right, so just know that, during the weekends, especially in the summer and the fall, that you could get a lot of traffic and a lot of people coming up from the suburbs, but the best part about it is they go home on Sunday and you can enjoy North Georgia on your own during the week. One of my personal least favorite things about North Georgia is the spotty cell phone coverage. Just by nature of what I do for a living, I'm driving all of the time and driving through the mountains a lot, and I'm always on the phone. Just from living in the area for a long time, I know just about the exact spots where I'm going to lose cell phone coverage on just about every road up here. Dropping calls is going to be a bit of a nuisance while you're driving, but it's not the end of the world. But one thing to look out for while you're searching for homes in North Georgia is cell phone coverage in the house that you're potentially thinking about purchasing. And just by the way, Nextel, if that's what you have, it doesn't work anywhere, and not even in North Georgia.
I like that.
All right, and number 5, I saved the worst for last, politics. I talk about it being the worst for last because I know people get riled up, but hey, let's talk about a little bit of politics here. We're going into an election. This is being shot in August of 2024. So I know people love to just get after each other in the comments about politics, but all that to say, North Georgia is a traditionally conservative area. So just food for thought here, but you can see on this graphic on the screen that the entirety of North Georgia is red. But hey, take that for what it's worth. Vote for whoever you'd like to. And hey, why don't you tell me in the comments who your favorite politician is? That should be fun. All right, so what did you think about the video? Hopefully I didn't scare you off with that last section there, but hey, don't forget to tell me who your favorite politician is in the comments. As always, my number is on the screen. If you would like to reach out, if you're thinking about moving to North Georgia, do not call me about anything political. And we will see you on the next video pretty soon.